Hey, how's it guys? Munash here, and today I just wanted to give a quick update on my mastery setup because it has changed a little bit recently. I just tweaked a couple of things, and this is basically just now fully optimized for offense and defense for my personal preferences. And basically, if I were to have to run one mastery setup for the rest of my life, I would probably go with something like this. So first, let's look at offense, and first thing you'll notice is I don't have anything in courage anymore, just don't have the points for that right now. And also, I've also reduced my glass cannon to level 2. Now, I do love having it maxed, it just helps for the damage, but I just had to optimize elsewhere and just try to balance things off for defense. Still run max deep wounds and despair. I think those are pretty useful for offense and even defense to a certain extent, because despair will help with their regen, especially if they have plenty of debuffs on them. And I do place a rank 3 weapon X, so having max deep wounds helps him. And on offense, I mean, Nick Fury is one of my most used, if not my very most used champs, since I use my 5-star quite a bit as well when the 6-star's busy in Alliance War. Always bring him to AQ and just general questing, so yeah, deep wounds is quite useful. And for other champs that rely on bleeds, I'm trying to think who else is there. Warlock, of course, and there's one more that I use quite a lot. I don't know, I'll get back to it, but yeah, that's basically my offense for now. And then looking at defense, now the main change here is now I'm running level 4 stand your ground. I would love to have it maxed. There's quite a big difference between 4 and 5, quite a big jump. Maybe I would, if I wanted to, then maybe I would take a point from, I don't know, maybe block prof or recovery, or even better, something from the proficiencies, but otherwise is where it's pretty much set up right now. And of course I have 1 point in willpower for the extra regen. Okay, so defense is probably the least change. It's just maxed or almost maxed stand your ground. I used to have more points in perfect block chance, but this is just a lot better for defense anyway. And then proficiency is where things get a little bit more interesting, because now I finally have max dispersion. I unlocked it a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. Even with champs like Doom who don't really need it, I'm finding it quite helpful for certain fights. And I don't think the power gain is too much as long as you can control the fight fairly well, and you just have the experience of how to deal with them gaining buffs at certain times. And then as usual, gotta have max parry, that's pretty important. Just need 1 in dexterity. And then I also have max limber for defense. That is quite helpful, makes your defenders a lot more annoying to fight against when they can be parry stunned. And then of course we have max stupefy for extra stun duration, because opponents often do run max limber as well, so helps to just sort of counteract that, even though max limber will give a much bigger reduction in stun duration. But yeah, in terms of this stuff, I don't really run petrify or pacify anymore. Only time I really need to use it, or not really need to, but where I really like having it is stuff like abyss, so the combat power rate is reduced while they're stunned. And lowering ability accuracy can be quite helpful when they stunned as well. Speaking of lowering ability accuracy, I also still have 1 point in assassin, which is quite helpful for defense, especially towards the end of those fights. Actually no, that's more offense, where it can help bypass certain abilities. On defense, it's more helpful for when maybe the opponent messes up, they're below 18%, like Quake. Then evade will always have a chance to fail, so yeah, that can be quite annoying if you mess up. And also it just helps to bypass certain abilities like Immortal Hulk's immortality or Iron Man's armor stacks, when you can auto block quite easily. So yeah, this is basically my preferred mastery setup now. Nothing too crazy or revolutionary, it's just a very well balanced build, I think, without having suicides of course. And yeah, basically I just don't have to change anything when I'm going from offense to defense. I can just run this build for pretty much everything. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this one. Just a nice little update, and I will also leave this in the description as I always do, because I don't know why, but I still get a lot of people ask me like what masteries I run, even though I leave a link to my mastery build in the description of pretty much every video I've uploaded over the past year with gameplay. So yeah, just check that out if you really want to see it without going through this video. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys found this interesting, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.